Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As always, I'm here to give you more of these new current movie reviews I've seen over the summer. Um, what you see is what you get. There's some movies I just glossed over. I didn't care to see. Like, you're not gonna get a Space Jam 2 review from me, nor a Fast and Furious 9 because I don't give a crap. Because why should I? Those movies are stupid and ridiculous, and I've given up on the DCU about a year or two ago with Birds of Prey, so why should I watch Suicide Squad? Even though it is getting good reviews, for me, it's just like, I don't trust the franchise, I don't care, I permanently turn my back on it, and I refuse to see anything from the series. But, today, I'm here giving you, again, like, what you see, what you get of all these movies I'm here to give you my reviews on, which is of I'm going to go from my least favorite to my favorite, though I do overall give all these movies a positive recommendation. It's not like they're bad, but I give all these movies I'm going to review here, at least like earlier in my view, like they're worth at least seeing. I'm going to go from my most mixed to my favorite. So it will end on a good note with my absolute favorite. I'm going to spend at least less than a minute on each film, so let's do it in a 3, 2, and 1. Shang Chi. I really enjoyed Shang Chi a lot. I like this more greater use of practical storytelling. Go back to with like the MCU origin stories at least, and I liked how this one told a much more family-oriented story behind it with a great cast. I thought all the actors did well. I thought the main actor of himself, Sam Liu, I believe, I think he was just okay, whereas everyone around him was just better. The actress who played the sister was a lot more efficient with the action scenes. Aquafina stole the story with comedic moments. The dad, I thought, was the most dramatic and had the most purpose within storytelling. Like, I thought the movie had a great emphasis on practicality and effective action scenes, and I liked the second half a lot. Especially the last 40 minutes, which I thought were really fun and really stellar, but a really boring, slow, and just tedious first half, which felt kind of flawed in premise. With, why did the dad have to order the assassins to get something from the kids instead of just asking the kids innately? Like, I get the fact that he has an estranged relationship with them, but a lot of the storytelling and everything in the first half of the movie, like the first hour, I thought was just kind of a real drag. However, and overall, I would give Shang-Chi like a 6.5 out of 10. Like, I'm probably the only person who within the Marvel fanbase who does not love Shang-Chi, but I do think it's a overall valued MCU film. A movie that I thought was, some people are going to flip that I prefer this movie over Shang-Chi, but Black Widow. I thought Black Widow was a lot more on my wheelhouse. I thought the movie was a lot more consistent, even though I thought the villains were kind of misused. A lot of the action scenes were just kind of okay. But I would actually say Shang-Chi and Black Widow are kind of flipped. I thought the first half of Black Widow was really good, a good sense of momentum and story and character. I actually felt more driven and focused, but it kind of teeters out within the last bit, where it felt a little bit predictable, and with Avengers Infinity War, it's kind of hard to get out of your head what will happen, but I found myself actually really invested within Black Widow, and Black Widow, at least, both Black Widow and Shang-Chi went through the same story arc, even if I found them not really as compelling as others. Shang-Chi started mediocre and ended great, where Black Widow was a little bit more even in my view, even if its weaknesses were just as weak as Shang-Chi. For me, Shang-Chi and Black Widow, I would give them both like 6.5 out of 10 in my view. They're just barely worth it. They're not the worst of the MCU has to offer, but they're certainly not among the best. Free Guy. This is one of the biggest surprises of the year. I thought it was surprisingly funny. It had a lot of creativity and cleverness with the script and the material at hand. I thought all the actors were all really good, even if they weren't really giving like performances. They were like, felt like they were just playing themselves, and that's how you can get incredibly fun and charismatic scenes that just carry across. Free Guy has some of the most adventurous and fun and just pure straight up popcorn entertainment films of the year. I thought it was just really, really just one of those films that I really kind of feel like I owe a big apology to. I'm like, oh yeah, Free Guy, whatever. New Ryan Reynolds comedy that looks so too self-aware with Ryan Reynolds doing what he does. But damn, this one really just kind of I remember just walking out of this movie going, man, I kind of underappreciated this movie. I kind of thought too low of it. Weirdly, I'm like, okay, I'm really shocked. I found myself really surprised about this movie. I give Free Guy a 7.5 out of 10. Batman: The Long Halloween Part 1 and 2 combined together, and I hope it does eventually release together. I thought is within the newest DCEU material is really good. I love the story lines. I thought it was very intriguing. It felt like a great HD modern remake or redoing of like Batman the Animated Series. And in my view, it felt like it was done that with such skill and great detail of animation and storytelling. The voice cast is good, though I don't feel like there's any one person who really shocked me. It was more of like this mystery thriller, as if it was taking an episode of Batman the Animated Series and making it more modern in HD with a really good way. And I thought all the voice actors did a good job. As I said, no one really had that stick out, like, whoa, like yes, I love Troy Baker. He's a great replacement for Mark Hamill, but all the voice actors just do good enough where it just kind of carried across as overall my view. But Batman: The Long Halloween was very intriguing. I loved the mystery and suspense. I have not read the comic myself, but yeah, I thought Batman: The Long Halloween was one of the most intriguing, beautifully animated, and most profoundly had a really strong, profound story that kind of carried through each part. If I had to choose part 1 or part 2, I would slightly prefer part 1, as its ending leaves a lot more intrigued there, and it kind of follows through with the second part, which I think cannot be seen individually. You need to watch the first half without the second half. Overall, Batman: Long Halloween Part 1 and Part 2 I thought were really good. I hope later on this year they do a Dark Knight Returns and release them together within one big 2-hour plus animated movie. Venom, and for me overall, Batman: The Long Halloween, surprisingly good. I give it a 8 out of 10. The biggest shock out of any of them, Venom 2. As a huge Carnage fan myself, and Carnage for me has always been my favorite Spider-Man villain, if not among my top tier favorite comic book villains of all time. I thought Carnage 2 was just, I love the dynamics within the characters. I love their bromance. I love the connection between the similarities of Eddie Brock and the symbiotes and how their relationship was really questioned and pulled through. I love their dynamics. I love their story arcs and how it parallels with Carnage and Naomi Harris's character. I forget her name so much. Damn it! I forgot her name. It's not Banshee. Why am I thinking Banshee? That's X-Men. God damn it. But Venom 2, I just love I love the action scenes. Every scene with Carnage was just perfect. Like, yes, he's kind of earned this role with the 1991 or 1990, within the 1990s, early Natural Born Killers, and I can see that kind of bordering into Cletus Cassidy. But I thought Carnage 2 was an astoundingly fun movie. I love its brisk pace. I love the dynamics within the characters. It actually felt like a really fun, simple movie that didn't take itself too seriously, and I didn't need to for all the right reasons. Its pacing was just good, even though I do think, just in my view, there should have been, as my friends correctly pointed out, I felt like the last action bit within the movie was really good, but felt too short, and I felt like there was, but I love the story's rather quick sense of brisk pacing to it, and I thought it was just one of the most surprising films of the year. I loved, and I actually even loved the way they handled the side characters, even if they weren't really, it wasn't too shoehorned in, but it was just felt good enough with Michelle Williams' character and of her character being married. all I'm gonna say is that it's, for me, is one of the most unrelenting. It's one of the most entertaining and consistently fun movies of the year. Even if it's not like a tour de force of a film, I found myself enjoying the hell out of this movie. The connections, the dynamics, the similarities with the characters, I thought was just so engrossing, so fun. In my opinion, this is an automatically better sequel than the first, which I thought was just kind of okay. Also, Andy Serkis' direction has a greater understanding of the push and pull of the two-sided character dynamics, as he knows very well with Gollum, and a greater dynamic action scenes and know how to make them pop more and become more memorable, even if they feel like they lack originality. And even if there's nothing about these action scenes that make them feel special, at least he had a greater understanding of the first, of knowing how to make them feel a little bit more impactful on story and character. And then, and ending it all off with my favorite of all these, and possibly my favorite movie of the year, with A Quiet Place 2 being very neck and neck with this film, and it is The Green Knight. I thought The Green Knight was beautifully gothic within tone and understanding of its narrative and characters. I thought it was beautifully paced. I thought the performances were excellent. It's one of those weird A24 slow burn movies, which for me would never really be my taste, as Hereditary put a permanent shock in my mind, and The Lighthouse is something I'm still trying to wrap my mind around. And they make those really macabre, really weird, out there films, but The Green Knight is very much, I'm hoping, to be like the Lord of the Rings for A24, this broad, fantastical, incredibly introspective, stylized, and beautiful movie. I thought, and for me, it's just an incredibly great movie. I thought it's among my top films of the year. For me, my only big weakness with The Green Knight is I do think at times, with some of the twists that are happening, it felt a little too superfluous. And when it kind of revealed back to the main storyline, I'm like, I think some things could have been edited and are tweaked around in certain ways. I'm like, doesn't really add much to it in truth. And overall, I thought some of it could have been a little tweaked in here at times. I thought some things could have been edited around. It could have had about like 5 or 10 minutes taken out of it. I wanted a little bit more adventure to it rather than it being a little bit more psychological, but I still thought it was just one of the most engaging, beautiful, breathtaking, and simply put, one of the most magnificently films. It's one of the most magnificent cinematography. It probably has the best cinematography and acting of the year. Dev Patel is truly tremendous in this movie. I think this dude is really, really talented, and I love most of the story. So yeah, that's my review. That is my reviews for you guys today. I'm so damn glad, and once I upload this for today, it feels like I'm just caught up, and whatever I see in the future, I will just kind of put it out because I felt so behind on schedule. But yeah, that's my review for you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the future for more videos. As always, till then, yeah, stay safe, be happy, and until then, peace out. Bye.